So as I mentioned a little bit earlier, some big news in Mpumalanga. Black Aces was recently bought by Cape Town-based businessman John Comitis. He has now relocated the club to the mother city, and we are now introduced to Cape Town City FC. This morning, we are very pleased to be joined by John and goalkeeper Shu-Aib Walters. Shu-Aib, welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
That's the tiger's eye. That's what you want between the sticks. John, congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome to the mother city on a far greater level now. How excited are you to be announcing this new club, or at least revealing this new club to the mother city, to South Africa?
I think the timing is good for Cape Town. You know, we've needed something for the Greenpoint Stadium. Cape Town Stadium needs an anchor tenant. I think the brand is spot on for what Cape Town is looking for, some sense of direction, leadership, and perhaps affiliation. You know, they feel something towards the city. I think Cape Townians love their city.
Yeah.
And to have now a club that they can identify with, I think we'll be pleasantly surprised with the attendances.
Well, I mean, we've seen a lot of our northern clubs, a lot of other clubs in the country coming down to play in the stadium because it's such a beautiful property. Shu-Aib, obviously Eric Tinkler, we know his pedigree. How are you feeling about him as a coach?
No, I'm totally confident. I know that he's obviously won a few things. He's won quite a few cups. He's played in Africa. He's technically sound. So for me, we're definitely going to have the right tools. But at the end of the day, obviously the players have to do the job. I mean, I know he's going to have it point to point, the opposition, what to do, what not to do.
He knows the landscape, yeah.
Yeah, so it's definitely an opportunity for us players to be successful and for us players to grow and obviously for the younger players to shine.
I'm glad you mentioned the older players and the younger players there. When finding balance in a squad, when putting together a squad, this is a very fresh team that you're assembling there. What were you looking for in constructing this team, and how they're starting to click? What's the vibe like?
Well, with the purchase, we got 14 of the core players. They were included. I think that was one of the key reasons I proceeded, because I had effectively the starting 11 in that 14. So we've got a good base to start from. We need to add another 10 players to that. Hopefully 5 will be of international quality. We're looking as far as Europe to fill in those spots, and then the other 5, I'm very confident will be filled by young Cape Townians.
Cape Town has a lovely footballing culture. Of course, there is Ajax Cape Town having a massive footprint down here. How do you think that rivalry is going to play out? What do you think this is going to bring to football in Cape Town, man?
No, I think it's going to bring back things of yesteryear. I mean, you're looking I wasn't born in the 70s, but I was told by my uncles just last night, there was great culture between Cape Town City and Hellenic. There was 30,000, 40,000 supporters. So I think it's something that Cape Town has lacked over the last couple of years, obviously only having one Cape Town team. So for me, it's definitely going to be something good. And yeah, I think we're definitely there's going to be a good rivalry at the end of the day.
All competition is good. How old do you feel right now, man? You weren't born in the 70s. I love the fact that you've taken a very developmental approach with how you are going to grow this club. You've got satellite stations in a lot of communities here. Talk me through that mental process. How are you going to be engaging with the Cape Town community at large?
I think I'm doing the development in a different way. Instead of running teams right down to under 6, we're going to engage 100 community clubs to affiliate themselves with our club. And we'll create a scouting ground using these 100 satellite clubs. But it's basically an attitude of building the club from the bottom up, where these clubs then feel a sense of affiliation to a top PSL club that their players can aspire to play for. And we open the channels by means of having tournaments at the different age groups between these 100 clubs, where we then select a handful of players that enter into our elite academy for further development. But it's a two-way streak. We then coach their coaches. You know, they come to tournaments, and at the end, if there's any financial benefit for us through the sale of a player in the future, that will trickle down all the way back to the satellite club that the player came from. So it's a two-way streak, and it's an inclusive program, and I think that's why we're getting so much buy-in in Cape Town.
Oh man, I know there are a lot of young footballers out there sitting up now, which is brilliant. Thank you so much for investing in this area. Not just because I live this close to the stadium, but it's awesome to see a new player on the landscape. I think it's going to bring a lot to South African football. So thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us. Do you know who the first encounter is against?
Oh, yeah, well, first game is against Kaizer Chiefs. It's MTN8.
Lovely.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a good game for Cape Town, and I think it's going to be a great opening game. Obviously, the players are hyped up, and we're actually going to have supporters. So we're going to obviously come and play against a top team that has even supporters themselves in Cape Town. But I know the record is not too good here, so I think we're going to try and run on that one.
Oh, the smack talk starts already. Gentlemen, thank you so much, and all the best of luck with this new phase of both of your careers. Awesome stuff, man.
Thank you.
Oh, man, lovely feel-good vibes this morning on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.